Hi, welcome to The Last Goodbye. I'm Jason, funeral director from Kenton Ross Funerals, and I'm here today with Tim.
Hello.
We're here just to lift the veil on the funeral industry, open a few doors and a few ideas for people to ask us. We'll tell you some of the most common topics that people come to us with, but all in all, we just want to get it out there that not all funeral directors are stodgy and old and suit-bound. We like to think that we like to have a good time sometimes as well. We're here to help people, but that needs to be done in a respectful way, and we also need to make sure the community knows how it all runs.
Jace, why do you think that the community needs to hear this stuff? I mean, you've been doing this for a long time. Like, is it something in particular that's come up multiple times, I guess?
Look, what are we now? 20, nearly 30 years in the industry, and people still think very, very similar things. You know, they don't know what can actually happen. They don't know what should happen. They don't know how it can happen. And today, with the advancement of technology, and especially social media, and especially what we can do in terms of video and production value, families just need to know that it's all out there. But as when death comes, there's a legal side to everything, and something that has to happen. We're here to help the families through that.
Love it. How long have you been funeral directing yourself?
As an actual funeral director, it's a tick over 21 years now.
Gee whiz, you would have heard it all.
I've got a few stories in the bag, and as we go along this show, I'm going to share a few of those crackers with you all. I know that's the first thing a lot of people come up through you. You know, you're out at a party having a few drinks with friends, or you're catching up with a coffee for someone new, and they just go, oh, what do you do? Oh, yeah, I'm in the funeral industry, and the first thing's a shock and awe.
Yeah.
Or it's a, oh, tell me.
Yeah.
Just that interest thing, you know. But at the end of the day, like, we're not here to tell all the gory stuff and the gross stuff, but we're here to let you know there is a good side to everything that we do.
Absolutely. I mean, we're just we're part of an industry like a lot of people. I actually, funny you mentioned that. I've been working with you for, must be 13 or 14 years now.
Wow. Too long.
Too long. Yeah, it goes quick. Yeah. And I remember when I first started, like you'd be at a party or something like that, and people would come up and they'd be a little bit interested. And now it's kind of like oh, no, I don't want to hear all those questions again.
I do insurance and then walk around.
Yeah.
Not to get all the questions and the attention at that point in time.
Yeah. So, Jason, what first got you interested in being a funeral director? I mean, I know the answer to this, but for all of those people listening along.
For anyone that knew me growing up, I think I'd always said that I would never actually come into this industry. It's something that you're born into or you fall into usually. But Dad started the company many years ago. I'll go back in 1987, and for years, and you know, I'd give him a hand when I need to on the weekends and stuff like that for pocket change, and always thought, no, I'll go on doing something else, and that was Dad's encouragement: go out, see what's in the world, and do what you can. Yeah. But at a point in time, and I was in a point in life that I needed to move back closer to home, and he happened to have a spot in the roster that needed to be filled. And I said, look, Dad, I'll give you a hand for 6 months while I get back on my feet. And he goes, yep, that'll be great, and we'll work it out. And here we are about 22 years later.
It's a long 6 months.
Very long 6 months. Look, I think what kept me around was the fact that even though we're going to meet families on effectively the worst day of their life, you know, we go into their lives and they've had something very tragic happen to them. Whether it's expected or not, it's still tragic. But someone's got to help them, you know? And that gratitude from families, that sense of help is what keeps us going as a company. You know?
Yeah, definitely. That's something that I absolutely love about this job, is how we are able to incorporate our creative side into things as well. And something you've always encouraged here. I don't know about Kenton himself, your old man, but when it comes to families asking something, and they always feel a little bit sheepish if it's not a traditional sort of funeral request. They feel a bit sheepish, like, oh, they probably won't be able to do this. But something I've always loved and appreciated about working here is how free you are, how free we are to do that.
Absolutely. As an industry steeped in tradition, like you go back, especially, you know, Australia is very, very based on a Christian-based faith. So all of our funeral ideas came from that base of faith, which is fine. But that came with a doctrine of this is what has to happen at a funeral. This is the start, this is the middle, this is the end, and that's it.
Yeah.
We have tried to evolve to make, each funeral bespoke for every family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Kenton Ross today looks like the Kenton Ross you thought it was going to look like 10 years ago? Does that make sense?
Look, I could tell you that I think we change every couple of years.
Yeah.
To be honest, in terms of what we offer families and what we can and can't do. The staff, the people that come through here.
Yeah, 100%.
And look, and that mix of people and getting that good team, which I think we do have these days. We try and have a good laugh behind the scenes.
Yep.
Because you need to do that to keep going every day after day.
Yeah, I think everyone understands that.
We all have two faces.
Yeah.
one's the game face and one's the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But, I think that moving on, the industry is going to change every year until forever, basically.
Definitely. I think our funeral home is a true reflection of the people working behind the scenes, because we have a bit of a diverse team working with us now that we've sort of collected over the years.
Yeah.
Well, especially since I've been here. And the people that have stuck around, we truly have an awesome team to work with. It makes coming to work very fun, and it also helps a lot with the creative part as well.
Yeah, absolutely does. Different ideas. And you're getting a fresh set of eyes every now and again. And just, even though a lot of us will have our roles within the company, changing those up every now and again and just going, what do you think about this and how are we going about this? And, it just makes for a good team.
Now, you don't want this podcast to be, I don't want to think of this as being an advertising thing. I want this to be a friendly chat between ourselves, between other people, between staff, maybe between people that we run into.
Look, and that's absolutely the idea.
Yeah.
This is to give us a base and idea of who we might be. But at the end of the day, we want people's questions. What do you know about the industry? What don't you know about the industry? What would you like to know about the industry? Just so that, you've got more information.
Yeah.
Because information is key all the time now, especially, everyone does their research on everything. You look online, but at the end of the day, if you can chat to someone and hear a little bit about it for true life events, it'll give you a bit more knowledge to make your decisions on life.
Yeah, I remember before I worked here, I did a couple of years in aged care, and whenever I saw funeral directors come through to transfer someone back into their care when someone had passed away, I always thought everyone looked really quite daunting and very serious, and it was almost like a little bit scary,
even unapproachable.
Yeah, well, exactly. And I like the idea of this podcast opening that door up to say, hey, look, we're just people.
Yeah, absolutely. Years gone by, I certainly have felt even looked down upon sometimes as being in the industry, and people just like, ooh, he's a funeral director, don't really want to get to know him, don't really want to go into that because that's what he deals with.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the end of the day, we're here to basically tell stories. We'll help families tell stories.
Tell stories, yeah, absolutely.
But for this podcast and what we want to try and achieve is just open doors, open ideas, and, give everyone a chance to see the back end of everything.
Yeah. And look, we're not a scary mob here. We're pretty friendly. So if you ever want to pop in and say hello to any of us, please feel free. Maybe call ahead. That would be good. Jace, I'm really looking forward to the series. Do you know, are there any particular questions that you did want to cover throughout the series that people can sort of look forward to maybe hearing about? Or
look, right now, in the next little while, I think we'll cover things, about the standard process for funeral directors, what to do when someone dies. Differences between cremations and burials. Might touch on the hardest part of our jobs, and hopefully in each episode we're going to start sharing a few of our little anecdotes. Those stories that they like to ask about at parties.
Definitely,
we need to make sure we edit those as we go through.
No, we'll be completely respectful about it, obviously. A big thing about working here is that, dignity is always number one, 100%. And I think we have such a good community that we're based in, and many of the people that I sit across from, I would be completely comfortable talking in this way with them as well, which is such a great thing. We sit down with them, and as soon as we start talking, they can see that we're just people and that we're just here to help. So this podcast is going to do that. We're going to be covering off on a lot of those things. So this is more or less a bit of a trailer, a little bit of an opening just to introduce ourselves. And I think I think we'll leave it there. Jace, is there anything else you want to close with?
Absolutely. All right. Thanks for listening. This is the last goodbye, and next time we'll have a little bit more information for you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. If you have any questions you'd like to hear us talk about on the show, feel free to send them through to admin@krfunerals.com.au.